Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Chode Build-A-Figure Wave Monet St. Croix. Pow and welcome back to the channel Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends Chode Build-A-Figure Wave. As in front of me we have Monet St. Croix. Not Monet St. Croix. She is of mixed heritage in the comics, including French. So that would mean her name is pronounced Monet St. Croix. So if you hear another YouTuber say St. Croix, politely tell them in the comments they would be wrong, alright? I have to do this one proud because it is, of course, the super producer's favourite Marvel character. So once again, shout out Rich M, aka Displayed Once, because he managed to get her in hand first and sent her over for review. He found her in Spain. So hola to pixelertoys.com. I will put the link in the description below. But I am also very happy to see Generation X get some love in the Marvel Legends line proper in that red and gold uniform. So there we have Monet, aka M, in the red and gold. Digital render on the front, X-Men logo top, bottom, comic image on the side. On the back, digital render, not very many accessories, unfortunately. Just an interchangeable set of hands. She does come with a Chode Build-A-Figure piece. And on the side, there we have Chode in his entirety, complete. But to build him, you will need to buy all the other figures in this Chode Build-A-Figure wave. Today we were reviewing Monet St. Croix. So without further ado, let's get her open. Here we have Monet out of the packaging with all of her accessories. I unfortunately say again very sarcastically, as she only has a set of interchangeable hands. Definitely a theme this year that I don't like with Legends is the lack of accessories. She does come with a Build-A-Figure piece for Chode, so you know what to do. Subscribe and come back, as once we have all the pieces, we will of course build and review the Chode Build-A-Figure. Not today. Today let's focus on Monet, who is the first time in Marvel Legends. You know me, I always appreciate adding brand new characters to the display, and that's exactly what we can do here on a brand new pinless body in the trademark Generation X yellow and gold uniform. Again, a team that hasn't been shown a lot of love, so hopefully this is the start of something. But for anyone who may not be familiar with the character, let me try my best to explain just a little bit about Monet. Debuting in Uncanny X-Men 316, Monet St. Croix is the perfect mutant with super strength, invulnerability. She's a telepath with flight and healing powers. The mutant codename M seems to have it all, but dig deep beneath the surface, you'll find that Monet carries her own secrets. The Monet we first meet is actually her younger twin sisters, Claudette and Nicole, who have merged together to impersonate a missing M. But you don't have to look far before the real M shows up in Generation X #1, trapped in the body of the razor-skinned penance by her supervillain brother, N-Plate. What follows is a multi-year mystery, with the twins finally revealed during Operation Zero Tolerance crossover, and Monet breaking free of her pennant form in Generation X #40. After leaving Generation X, she shows up as a member of Banshee's X-Corp, joins up with Madrox in X-Factor investigations, and eventually joins the main X-Men team as part of the all-female Volume 4, and serves on Magneto's Uncanny X-Men, where she even managed to date Sabretooth. Post House of X, she now serves as co-leader of X-Corp with Archangel, where she can now change into a penance form freely. Zooming in to take a closer look at Monet, as I think this is a case of the head sculpt looking much better in hand in person than the promo pictures online give it credit for. And shout out the super producer who may or may not have written that extra long explanation segment. It is Monet after all. So the face sculpt, you can see the digital face printing tech across the face with a subtle pink lips. Then you've got this sort of eyeliner that goes around the eyes, makes them pop really nicely. And it is a much nicer face sculpt in person. The hair has some strands that are a softer plastic either side of the face, which I've just sort of flicked over the shoulder here. You can see one there, and then the other one's a little bit thicker. If I bring that out, that's sort of what the promo images were doing. They were sort of covering the face. But again, you flick them over the shoulder and it sort of definitely lets you see the pretty face of Monet a lot nicer. The hair is a solid piece that runs all the way down the back, so that is unfortunately going to hinder the articulation. It has got a disc and hinge, so you can get a bearing in the chin. There's nothing on the back, nothing needed to be on the back, to be fair. And then on the front, this chest piece is definitely new. You've got the sculpted X logo attached to the gold zip that goes down the front of the chest, the red collar. You've got the shoulder pads, which are a separate piece as well, that are attached to the top, so they will not hinder the arm going way past 90. And if you articulate them all the way around, you can see it continues, follows with the articulation. So nicely done with the pinless, double jointed pinless arms as well. Now these gold gauntlets are an element of the Generation X uniform. Some nice sculpted detail on there, done in like a glossy gold. A bit of a wash would have brought out some of the details nicely, but again, double jointed elbows, no problem at all. And you've got the little X logo there on the wrists too, well, on the forearms. The bout is a separate piece with a little bit of blue on it, and again, no waist swivel because all the articulation is up here at that diaphragm joint, which I'll show you in a minute. But yes, very nicely sort of amalgamation of new parts up here to sort of display this Generation X costume. The legs, you've got the swivel at the thigh, and then down to the boots that resemble what you see on the gloves as well. The sort of glossy gold with some nice sculpted details, those sort of bumps that stick out on either side. A bit of a wash again would have brought out the detail, but nicely done. And if I zoom out, we can sort of see what range we're going to get here. So as I said, the legs will go far forward, double jointed pinless knees like that. Quite thick boots though, so you can't get a kick in her own arse. You can if you force it, of course, but as I said, double jointed knees there, completely pinless Marvel Legends, which we love to see, of course. And then the sort of range here, you get forward a little bit of a crunch, not so much back, of course, because the hair's going to hinder that, but you do get a bit of tilt. Disc and hinge, as I said, for the head, so the head will look down, not look up as much. But yeah, bicep swivel, everything else you would expect for a Marvel Legend. No complaints at all. I think this is looking really nice. Now, I've put a set of fisted hands on her straight out of the box. Well, I've swapped the hands already. Out of the box, you get one of each. But you do get a set of open palm hands as well, which are a little bit more expressive. So as I said, out the box you get one of each, but you do get a set of fisted hands and these more grabby hands as well. And I do like the sort of rosy cheeks she's got as well. That sort of, you can see as my light hits her. And then down back to the boots, this is definitely like a separate overlay, like on the legs. As you can see, it wiggles a little bit there. And just a quick look at Monet without the gauntlets on the forearms, so you can see those double jointed pinless arms very nicely. Yeah, it is an updated Marvel Legend pinless body with some new pieces like this upper torso piece and the legs as well, which, as I said, the legs may not be new, but the overlay of the boots definitely are. And yeah, the shoulder pads up top are a separate piece. And yeah, I think they've done this very well, very accurate to the comic book page as well, which is most important. Moving into comparison, starting off with something a little bit different, but something that makes a lot of sense, as here we have Monet St compared to Penance. Now this Penance is actually from the Toy Biz Generation X line way back in the day. That is a retro card that the Hasbro team haven't recreated yet, so maybe there's a little bit of hope for the future if retro cards want to make a comeback. But here we have Penance compared to Monet, because Monet is Penance, of course. She has that ability to transform into that form that we haven't yet got in Marvel Legends proper. But I am going to try some Carnage hands on this Monet body, and there you go. It doesn't not work. Now the arms don't plug in all the way because they are male hands on a female arm, so it doesn't plug in all the way, and obviously I don't want to sort of stretch out, but it definitely works for a few pictures or a few poses of those sort of razor sharp Penance sort of claws like we have here. Now they are just the regular Carnage arms. We have many Carnages in Marvel Legends now at this point. The reds obviously don't need to match with the maroon of the suit, do they? Because Penance is sort of red skinned, pinkish skinned. Yeah, hopefully we get a proper Marvel Legends Penance at some point. But if you wanted to take a few pictures of her transforming, or at least having razor sharp claws, then yeah, absolutely. The Carnage claws can work for your Monet. Here we have Monet compared to some actual members of Generation X we have in Marvel Legends form. Chamber, of course, is in this very same Chode Build-A-Figure wave, so go and check out my review for him on the channel right now. Jubilee, however, doesn't quite make sense as she is in her Jim Lee uniform, and of course when she was in Generation X, she wore the same matching Generation X uniform as Monet, but you couldn't just do a straight up head swap, as Jubilee is accurately a little bit shorter than Monet. So the Monet body could be reused for maybe Husk, but I think Jubilee would warrant a new version of the body in a shorter form. Now, a character wearing all white against a white background is never a good idea for a review, so I'm an idiot, but here we have Emma Frost in her astonishing X-Men look, who is in this very same Chode Build-A-Figure wave. Go and check out the review on the channel. I promise I don't use a white background. She, of course, helped lead Generation X in the background with Banshee, so here we have her compared to Monet. We are getting a Marvel Legends Banshee update, of course, in that Uncanny X-Men 3-pack. I just don't have him quite yet. But here we have Monet and Emma Frost. Again, not quite accurate in regards to the costumes these characters are wearing, but as we know, Monet did team up with Magneto and Mystique in Uncanny X-Men, so here we have Monet compared to Magneto and Mystique. Some more generic comparisons now, just to compare body types. Here we have Vulcan and of course Darwin. Here we have Wolverine and Cyclops. A few random female comparisons, again just to compare body types. Here we have the variant all-black Storm, and then we have the very new Yelena Belova, who I have just reviewed on the channel. And finally, I'm happy to introduce Monet to the Who crew. So here we have Frogman, Tigra and White Rabbit. And last but never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. And would you look at that, the super producer willed this figure into existence, as there we have Monet in the picture frame. And now we have the Marvel Legend. And no, Brian would never hit Monet with Excalibur. He wouldn't dare. So, final thoughts on this Marvel Legend Chode Build-A-Figure wave, Monet St. Croix. Now, I am always happy to add brand new characters to the collection, and this is the first time we have gotten Monet M in Marvel Legends line, and she is in her Generation X uniform. So there is potential there to reuse this body and maybe give us other members like Husk. I'd love to get a version of Penance as well and really start filling out that team. We got Chamber in this wave, so the other members must be on the radar of Hasbro now, so hopefully it's only a matter of time. And of course, there are other versions of M as well, as she has wore different uniforms, as she has been in multiple teams. So hopefully this is the first of many, and I'm very happy for the super producer to add his most wanted Marvel Legend to his collection so early in 2023. But as always, I'm curious what you think. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you happy to add Monet to your collection? And is this the uniform you would want her to be in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like Marvel Legends, and well, you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, hit all on the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I'm on Twitter as well. Tweet me, don't be shy, at Dan Who Reviews, and until then, my name is Dan W, and I will of course see you on the next one.